Hello crafty friends, it's your friendly neighbourhood paper wrangler, the Craftacular Creator, back again with another whimsical card project that folds more times than a deck chair on a windy beach day. Today we're creating a 3-fold square card, or as it sometimes pops up on YouTube, the 3rd fold square card. Why the confusion? Who knows? Maybe some clever mice rebranded it mid-flight. The best thing about this card is that it starts off as a humble 6x6 square, a standard well-behaved size that fits nicely in a 6x6 envelope. But wait for it, once you open it up, bam! It folds out to 8x8 and reveals a full-blown scenic moment. A tiny paper drama unfolds, starring clouds, mice and kites flying high. I noticed there aren't many tutorials for this kind of card, so I thought let's make one to fill the crafty void. Let's fly this kite together, shall we? Before we dive in, could I gently, or not so gently, remind you to get clicky for Vicki. That's my cheeky way of saying give this video a thumbs up, subscribe and leave a comment. It means the world and helps me keep squeaking out content like this. For this card I used Lawnfawn Whoosh Kite Stamp Sets, Lawnfawn Spiffy Speckles paper, a few other bits that snuck their way in during the process. You'll see them listed throughout the video and of course in the description below. Let's begin with the background. I'm stenciling some lovely fluffy clouds onto the reverse of the Spiffy Speckles paper, the side without the gold foil, but with a charming tone-on-tone splatter, kind of like the sky after a clumsy paintbrush incident. Perfect! I use a Lawnfawn cloud background stencil, dab on some Altenew Cloud White pigment ink using a foam doormat and then let it dry, which it does eventually. Pigment ink is like a mouse on a teacup ride. It takes its sweet time to settle down. While the clouds are drying, because we're efficient, not impatient, I stamp out my mice onto Nina Classic Crest Solar White 80-pound cardstock using Memento Tuxedo black ink. For the colouring, I use a soft rainbow palette to match the patterned paper, one of my absolute favourites. I colour with the darkest marker and then blend out into the lightest for most images, and for others, as you can see here, I just use one colour. A few white gel pen highlights later and our mice are ready for their big debut. They're all squeak and chic. It's time to create the card base. I start with an 8.25 square of white cardstock. This is scored at 2.75. Rotated to 90 degrees and scored again at 2.75. With your scored square in the top left corner, make a mark at 5.5 inches, then rotate and mark at 2.75 inches on the other side. Then, here's the fiddly bit, turn it diagonally, line up the marks with a Sharpie line and score again. A bit of gentle paper persuasion and voila, a magic folding card base that behaves eventually, just like my cat. Back to our now dry cloudy panel. I trim one piece to 5.25 square and 3 pieces to 2.5 squares. I attached the large square with a tape runner and then added our dashing mice with liquid glue. They need to stay flat so the card doesn't puff up like a cheese souffle. I'd already cut a grassy border off screen because, let's be honest, no one wants to watch 5 minutes of grass cutting. Our mice now have their field, a place to frolic, fly and chase dreams, or crumbs. On the front panel I pop in the smaller cloudy squares. I continue the grassy border and give one lucky mouse a stitched kite to fly. I used a lawn-fawn stitched kite die, combined white cardstock and patterned paper, pieced it all together and added some tiny bows. With more bravery than a mouse facing a cat, I stamped the sentiment after the card is mostly assembled. Yes, in the misty. Could have done it earlier, but where's the thrill in that? Luckily it worked. I also stamped some little sentiments around the card using an acrylic block. Phrases like, "Oh happy day," "Fly high," "Whoosh," and "Run." Let's do a final flap and fold demo. I could watch this card open and close all day. It's like origami for sentimental rodents. From a compact 6x6 square to a full 8x8 scenic adventure. And it still fits in a regular envelope. Paper engineering, more like paper enchantment. This card was inspired by episode 269 of Craft Roulette. The parameters were a square card, pastel colour butterflies, which were interpreted as my rainbow palette, clouds, check, and bows were tied on the kite. Nailed it. Here's a little slide about Craft Roulette. If you haven't joined in yet, you're missing out on the most fun you can have with cardstock and a roulette wheel. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this squeaky clean card tutorial, don't forget to get clicky for Vicki. Like, subscribe and leave a comment to let me know which mouse was your favourite. Until next time, keep crafting, keep smiling, and may your ideas fly higher than a mouse with a kite on a breezy day. Cheerio!